Embrace after a fight. It doesn't matter how many punches were thrown, how much blood was spilled, or even bragging about taking the other guy's side piece. When the final bell rings, you hug it out. It's a ritual that's been around for as long as I've followed the sport. That post-fight embrace isn't just for show, it's a mutual acknowledgement of shared sacrifice. Two people who minutes ago were trying to take each other's heads off now recognizing the respect they've earned from one another. However, there have been a handful of moments where this tradition is not observed. The one that sticks out to me more recently was after Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder's third fight. Despite sharing the ring for a total of 30 rounds over 3 fights, and Fury offering his hand in sportsmanship, Wilder refused, and that break in etiquette was talked about almost as much as the knockout itself. Because in boxing, that handshake after the fight matters. It's not just about respect for the opponents. It's about respect for the craft and the danger both men had just endured. A similar gesture happens at the start of the final rounds. You'll see both fighters reach out and touch gloves. It's a moment that often gets overlooked, but it speaks volumes, recognizing each other as worthy adversaries. Hit and don't get hit. Literally what it says on the tin, land clean punches and avoid taking damage. That's simple in theory, but incredibly hard to pull off in practice. Fighters would try to achieve this by using their footwork, head movement, blocking and parrying incoming shots to prevent punches being landed on them. It's the foundation of the sport, the very essence of what makes boxing the sweet science. But here's the thing, most fans don't tune in for the science. They want blood, knockdowns, all-out wars. A fight with too much defense feels slow and methodical. It's devoid of the primal carnage they associate a fight with having. And look, I'm not saying those fans are, well, you know, the word that rhymes with basil, but let's just say they're probably not tuning into a Devin Haney fight. To be fair, after his last one, neither am I. Allow your opponent to adjust their trunks. Their hands are down, but don't let your dignity go down with it. If your opponent is adjusting their trunks, you let them. You don't throw a punch while they are pulling them up. Technically, there's nothing stopping a boxer from landing a shot while someone's fixing their waistband, and referees do make it clear to protect yourself at all times. But let's be real, it's a pretty scummy move. The opponent is clearly vulnerable, not out of laziness, but because they're trying to keep their gear in place. If you take advantage of that brief moment, it shows everyone the kind of fighter you are. With that said, there is some responsibility on the fighter adjusting their trunks. You've got to pick the right moment, ideally when there's some space and not mid-exchange. And this idea of not taking advantage of someone in a disadvantaged position goes beyond wardrobe malfunctions. One of the most infamous examples was during Floyd Mayweather versus Victor Ortiz. After things got a little rough in the ring, Ortiz tried to apologize and embrace Mayweather. In return, he got hit with a two-piece without the soda, knocking him out in the process. Was it legal? Absolutely. But was it sportsmanlike? Not even close. It left a sour taste for everyone watching the fights. Styles make fights. This is a common saying in boxing, and it couldn't be more true. The enjoyment a fight offers is not just determined by how good the competitors are, but how their styles match up. The pacing and drama is shaped by how boxers approach a fight. Put two defensive-minded fighters in there and don't be surprised if you start dozing off on the sofa. It becomes more of a chess match. On the other hand, when you've got two heavy-handed brawlers, you might not see 12 rounds of slick footwork or tight counters, but you'll get what Triple G famously calls a big drama show. Fighting in the pocket and haymakers, the kind of chaos we fans live for. Never overlooking your current opponent. In boxing, many rising prospects are promised massive paydays, title shots, super fights, you name it. But there's one condition. Well, actually there's two. You have to keep winning and you have to stay relevant. That's already a tall order, especially when every person put in front of you is fighting for the same thing. Picture this. You've got some hungry contender from South America whose family may not eat properly this month unless he beats you. Going against that type of desperation is frightening, and yet it's easy for a hyped up prospect to look past him because of what they are promised. That's when things can go wrong. Every fight demands full focus and every opponent deserves respect. That's why experienced fighters always play it cool when asked about future matchups, dismissing the notion of any potential fights down the line. Looking too far ahead can cost you everything right in front of you. Every close decision goes to the champion. There is a long-standing belief in boxing that if you really want to win the belt, you've got to take it convincingly. The idea is that a challenger shouldn't just edge the fight, they need to dominate the champion and leave no doubts. And while I get the logic, it can feel anticlimactic when a champion's reign ends on a razor-thin decision, but this mindset creates a double standard. It changes the way fights are judged, not based on what actually happens in the ring, but on who holds the belt. That's a problem because the scoring criteria should be applied equally, regardless of who's defending and who's challenging. Placing an extra hurdle in front of the challenger just because a title is at stake is not fair. It turns the belt into a protective shield which undermines the whole point of competition. If someone earns the win, they should get the win. Simple as that, whether they're the reigning champion or the hungry contender. And the bonus last rule, don't brag about taking your opponent's side piece.